let's get going with our next Q&A. Please welcome to the stage, Devon Sawa. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming, for showing up.
Absolutely. The way this will work, guys, it is a Q&A, which means you have cues. For the next little bit, you get to be the A.
Okay.
And
I'll do my best.
Okay. The answers you don't know, just make up.
Okay.
They will go in and edit your Wikipedia page.
All right.
And then we'll go back tonight and fix it for you.
All right. Perfect.
But this microphone's for you guys, so at any time if you have a question, feel free to get up, come to the microphone. We'll get through your questions, as many as we can in the short time we have together. And then if we don't get to all of them, that's my fault, because I have to be the bad guy that says, all right, we're out of time. So at any point, if you guys feel like you want to get up and ask a question, feel free to do so. You're not going to offend us by getting up moving around. That's your job, all right? So while they're thinking of questions, and I'm sure we're going to get a ton of Final Destination questions, and maybe some M&M questions, but I want to skip all of that and go to Chucky.
Okay.
Because Chucky, not an anthology series where you might see an actor recurring in different things, and yet you manage to find yourself in a different role in every season. Talk to us a little bit about how all that came together.
Yeah, so when I first signed on to Chucky, I had no idea that I would come back. I read all the scripts before I left, and I thought I was one and done as far as seasons went. And so at the end of the first season, after I died, Don Mancini, the creator, approached me and said, would you like to come back for the next season? And I just assumed it would be one of the characters back from the dead, or a ghost, or maybe a prequel or something. But he sent me away for the hiatus, and I got the first script, and I wasn't in it. Neither of the characters were in it, and I was confused. And he said, "You're going to play the priest." And then that just kept happening. I came back to play the president, and the president's double, and hopefully I'll return to do something else in the future with them. It's one of those jobs that I just love, getting up in the morning and going to work. It was, I was starstruck when I saw the doll come to set the first time. They wheeled it out on the table. It was like I've worked with Stallone and John Travolta, but I had the same feeling when I saw Chucky. It's like that doll from my childhood. So yeah, it was a blast. Chucky's been a blast. And hopefully I get to revisit it again.
Absolutely. It's one of those shows that watching it, we can feel like the fun.
Yeah.
Right? It's not, it's horror.
Yeah.
But it's not taking itself seriously.
Yeah, Jennifer Tilly is
fantastic.
She's fantastic to be on set with.
I think there was a line in the first season where, he's coming out to the doll and he's like, that's fine. I'm a killer. I'm not a monster. It's okay.
Yeah.
So being aware of everything, being aware of the horror elements and the humor and the social issues, it was an amazing show, and it's sad that it did not get to continue, especially since we left it on cliffhanger.
Well, we're going to get more Chucky stuff one way or another.
Okay.
That doll makes them a lot of money,
Yeah.
and also Don just genuinely loves that franchise, and he'll revisit it again. And so, yeah,
absolutely. Now I saw recently, it might have been the last week or so, that it's been announced that you're going to be joining a Return of the Living Dead sequel.
So that ties in with Chucky. Tony Gardner does all the special effects as far as making the dolls and whatnot for Chucky, and he knew that I was a giant Return of the Living Dead fan. I had the poster on my wall as a kid, and so I got this random call from him. And he did the effects on the original way back in '85, I believe. And so I get this random call and say, hey, we're trying to do this thing with Return of the Living Dead. Would you come and do this concept short for us? And I did, and we shot it, and now it's getting all this traction, and they've got a budget to shoot the movie properly with practical effects with Tony Gardner, and so we're just now waiting to see what the next steps are, but they're going to bring that back, from the dead, I guess.
If you guys have questions, feel free to come up. Otherwise, I'm going to sit here and talk the entire time because I'm totally prepared to do so.
We just asked him one, which was
okay, that's fine.
Dead, but I have another.
Swing that microphone around for you. There you go.
I'm loud enough.
That's okay. What's your name?
Jeff.
Jeff, nice to meet you. Go ahead.
Nice to meet you. I I think that your physical possessed hand acting and idle hands would make Bruce Campbell proud.
Yeah.
You know, and I was wondering, did you go into any routine like, or figure this out, how am I going to act if my hand was possessed or anything like that? Because
So-
you did a lot of physical stuff in that movie with your
Yeah,
hand and everything.
for sure. So I was in, when we shot the movie, I was in my Jim Carrey phase. Like I thought the world, Jim Carrey was better than De Niro to me. Like Jim Carrey was, he still is in his own way, really. Jim Carrey's brilliant. As a kid, I had seen Evil Dead 2 so many times, and we used to have a trampoline in the backyard, and we used to go out on the trampoline and flip ourselves with our hands and do all this stuff. And so when we got the original script for Idle Hands, it wasn't a lot of hand stuff. It wasn't even called Idle Hands yet. And I went into this audition in front of all these Sony executives with suits on, and I remember flipping myself over a table and throwing myself into a wall, and it just became more Idle Hands-ish after that. And I remember that I was living in this apartment in LA, and my apartment was facing out on another apartment building, like right across the street. Like all these apartments were facing, and I used to practice all my hand stuff with the windows, like the blinds completely open. And so I can imagine that my neighbors across the street who were all, you know, if they were staring in, they would, like that came up with the whole remote with the cat stuff. Like that was on my couch in my apartment. Probably, I had a beard, like I was like working on my different, I had this idea that my hand was gonna be like Bugs Bunny and I was gonna be like Elmer Fudd. And so that's how I was coming up with all this hand. And a lot of stuff never, like in the burger joint, when I had this whole thing where my hand made a salad, and like it never got used. There's tons of stuff that never got used that I just would come up with, and anyways.
I really enjoyed that role. Best of luck on the Return of the Living Dead movie.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well,
Thank you, Hard Eyes was a lot of fun to shoot. Thank you.
Hello, Stefan. What's your name?
Angela,
Hi, Angela.
what was it like doing Casper?
Casper means a lot to me because I'm from Canada, and it was really hard back then to break it to the American market. We didn't have we couldn't put stuff. We couldn't send stuff down digitally. There was no emails. There was no. It was really hard back then, and so you would put yourself on tape for these big American auditions, hoping that when you put that VHS in the FedEx box, that it would make it to where it was supposed to make it to. And I really truly believe to this day that that box ended up on the right desk at the right time, and I was the right look and whatever, and it was all a lot of luck. But I was this kid from a small town outside of Vancouver, Canada, a little hockey town, and I was all of a sudden at Universal Studios, and they had a big house built on a soundstage, and Spielberg was there, and I at one point crossed paths with Clint Eastwood, and he was doing a cameo or something like that. It was the most bizarre, time. It was really there's a special place in my heart from that movie. So.
It's one of my favorite Halloween movies. So.
It's great. I
Yes.
love it. I saw Christina last week. I love watching her success. I love watching her over the years. She's killing it. She's done great things, and so that movie means a lot to me.
Good question. Thanks, Angela. Hi. What's your name?
April.
Hi, April.
And mine's kind of on that same lines. Of course, that's the first movie I saw you in. And I was just wondering what was it like to be that teen heartthrob?
I hated it. I was a teenage boy, and they would hand me like a puppy and like try to take my picture while crimping my hair over to the side, and all I wanted to do was like wrestle and like just do.
I'm not the Tiger Beat guy. Yeah.
I can now at my age I can appreciate it and where it got me and what it meant to so many different people. But back then, like when I was 14 and like they wanted to ask me what my perfect date was, and what I would say to a girl on a romantic walk on the beach. Like I was like,
As a 14-year-old, you had a lot to draw from, right?
I wanted to, I like Jim Carrey, and, hockey cards and comic books, and so. But listen, it meant a lot to me. It got to me, it meant a lot to a lot of people, and so yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Hi, come on up. What is your name?
Snowman.
Snowman.
And as a fellow gym goer, I've clearly seen your gains here. I just want to know, what is your favorite workout and why?
Oh wow, that's an interesting question. My favorite workout?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like to get them in. It's unfortunately, as I'm getting older, everything is harder.
Yeah.
Like you could diet for a month and then just have one
cheat meal,
and it's like you might as well just rub it right here. Yeah. No, I just hope I could. It's a good feeling. But I don't have. It used to be mixed martial arts. Like I used to be into Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and anything that I could. But as I got older, first the Muay Thai was a no-go anymore. I started to get too achy, and then now after the pandemic, I stopped going to Jiu-Jitsu and
Right.
so. But I like to stay healthy.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I appreciate the compliment.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite?
Obviously, I'm an arms guy. I'm a powerlifter, so
There you go.
I'm eating gummy worms while doing deadlifts.
So you tried the apple pie curls.
That's right. That's
You
right.
get a plate of apple pie.
Oh, you gotta have the gummy bears while doing your deadlift.
There you go.
I don't know about gummies in my apple pie, but sure. Not that kind of
Thanks for
gummies.
the question.
Slide on up here. What is your name?
My name is Sean.
Hey, Sean.
My question is, it's about one of my favorite kind of childhood movies that I don't think you probably ever get very much credit for, but one of my favorite movies of yours is Wild America, and I was curious, was it filmed in America, or you said earlier about being in Canada, was it filmed in Canada, or just kind of just all over the place?
It was mostly shot in Savannah, Georgia. I've got 2 movies in Savannah, Georgia, which is an amazing place, by the way. But that was mostly shot in Savannah, Georgia. We did go to Calgary, Alberta, to shoot some of the desert-y looking stuff. But that was it.
How close did they let you get to the animals?
Well, the bears, the guys in the bear costumes, we got pretty close to those guys. So my thing with Wild America, there's certain movies that, I used to like, Enemy Mine, for instance. Does anybody know the movie Enemy Mine? A great film. I mean, I thought it was. When I was a kid, I used to watch that movie on repeat. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And I thought, I'm going to watch it again. And then I didn't watch it again. Over the years, I've made that movie evolve with time. You know what I mean? Like I made it better. I digitally enhanced it. You know what I mean? I did it. And then you revisit it. It's like, oh, I can't wait to watch this. And it's not what I did in my mind over the years. It's like that, and there's a few movies like that. Wild America is like that.
I bet you all had some good camaraderie there, like with the 3 brothers. And
Yeah, we got along really, really well. But yeah, Wild America's like that movie where like there's like snakes on puppet things and there's a mechanical moose and guys in there, and that was high budget shit back then. Like that was like we were making high budget Warner Brother films back then, but it didn't survive the test of time. Little Giants did. Little Giants, we used no special effects, and so it's kind of like.
So those toilet paper rolls weren't CGI? You're
No, man, I was not in those things. I was a hockey player from Canada, but I adapted to good old American football. So,
Right on. Good job, Sean. Thank you. Hi, come on up. What is your name? It's okay. Hi, Aria. What's your question?
what was it like to do Casper? It was quick. I was only there for a week. I got to do school with Christina Ricci for that week, and then we became good friends in that week. And she recommended me for a movie called Now and Then, which we went and did a little bit after. It was one of the things I do remember about Casper, the 1 week that I was there, is every day at lunch I would sneak onto the theme park. So we shot it at Universal. So I would go out during my lunch and I would ride whatever ride it was. I think the one that I liked the most was Backdraft at the time. So we would go and do the Backdraft ride, and what else was there? E.T., the riding on the bike. It was a lot of fun. I think I was 14 when I did it. And so, yeah, it was a good time.
Good question. Good job.
Good question. Thank you.
Hello. What is your name?
I'm Aubrey.
Hi, Aubrey.
What was the hardest scene to film in Idle Hands?
They were. I look back at that film and realize I was like a rubber band back then. Someone sent me the clip of going over the railing and pressing the button and go back over the railing and I just looked at it and I hurt just looking at it. And I don't know how I didn't like hobble off set every day. Idle Hands is still to this day the most fun I had shooting a movie. The cast was phenomenal. They were so fun to be around. There was really no hard parts about doing it. I just enjoyed going to that job every day. Seth, I have a small list of actors like Jennifer Tilly or Jason Schwartzman. Seth Green is one of those people on the list that just make your heart smile all day long. They're just genuinely good people. And there wasn't really anything that hard about it. It was I put in the work before I got there as far as learning all the stuff. I went to New York and worked with a guy on some of the hand stuff. But I think it was easy back then. I don't think I could ever do it now. I think there was a certain, when you're 18, you're kind of fearless, and so you're willing to do all sorts of stupid shit, good and bad. But yeah, it was easy.
I think the microwave scene was my favorite.
Yeah, the little song he sung. Yes. He came up with that. Like that's him and like Jason Schwartzman, another guy. They come up with some stuff that's just like Jason Schwartzman got on a piano one day and played this whole piano. Like it's just they're very talented human beings.
Good job. Thank you. Hi, come on up. What is your name?
My name is Blaze. So, I've rewatched SLC Punk for the umpteenth time at this point. What was your favorite part on that set? And did you get to keep anything from the set?
And which one was that again? I'm sorry.
SLC Punk.
Okay. That's a heavy film.
Yeah, I didn't know what they were doing. I did all my. I had another film I was there for like 2 or 3 days for, and I didn't work with any of the actors. I think that Matthew and I had that one scene where I'm about to tell him about the flashback. But I worked on my own, and the interesting thing is I didn't know the tone of the movie they were doing. Like they were doing pretty grounded. Matthew kills it in that movie. He's very grounded and very. It's one of his underrated performances, I think. But I showed up to set doing a whole different thing. It fits, it works. But I was like out of my fucking mind on that movie. It's one of my favorite films. I just because of Matthew's performance alone. So.
Yeah. Then did you get to keep anything from that set?
I wish this is something that not just that movie, but all of my movies, I didn't keep anything. I wish I'd kept the mittens. I really do. My brother recently texted me a picture of, he goes, is this yours? You gave it to me a while ago, and it was the dog tag that I wore in the Stan video. And so he kept those, but I wish I kept more shit. I gotta tell my kids or keep stuff for my kids, but I didn't keep a lot. I wish I did.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Hello,
How
what's
you
your
doing?
name?
My name is Daniel, and I got a question about Final Destination.
Okay.
Upon filming it, was there any scenes that made you too squeamish or can't film? That made
No.
you walk off the set?
No, that movie is brilliant because they put it together in pieces and you kind of got an idea what they were doing, but you didn't really know. It was just James Wong and Glenn Morgan were genius at what they were doing. Like one of the best parts about Final Destination was sitting in the theater for the first time with an audience and watching it. When we saw that bus, because we shot the bus thing in pieces, it was all little pieces. And so we knew what was supposed to happen, but we didn't know how they were doing it. And so when we were sitting in the back, I remember sitting in the back of the theater and seeing that bus just take her out. And the whole audience just flipping the fuck out. And we knew right then, like,
Something was gonna happen.
we knew we had something kind of original, and that these filmmakers had started something, and now they just try to top it every time, and they do. Like the latest Final Destination movie is a fucking
It was phenomenal.
riot. Yeah, so it's yeah. I got a little squeamish because for a different reason. The plane was on a hydraulic gimbal, and somebody had a joystick, and they were kind of shaking us around all day. We buckled in, and yeah, Final Destination was a hard shoot for me. It was one of those. Sometimes you have fun doing a movie, and sometimes you don't. But it's fun when you watch it, and it's all worth it. Final Destination was worth it to watch, but it was a tough shoot for me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. What is your name?
My name's Deacon.
Hey, Deacon. Good to see you again.
How did you get into acting?
How to get into acting? It was so in 5th grade. My 5th grade teacher thought suggested to my parents that if I want to be the center of attention, if I want to be the class clown in school, maybe I should join the local theater. And so that summer, I was forced to, as a punishment, join James Cowan Theater, which is this community theater in my little town, and I just loved it. It was the greatest. First of all, I loved it for 2 reasons. Yeah, the theater was fun, but it was all girls. It was like me and like 12 girls. It was the greatest thing ever. And I just fell in love with theater, and I went from there to Vancouver Youth Theater and started doing commercials and stuff like that. It didn't help at all with school, but that's how I got into theater. That's how I got into film. It was a punishment by my teacher to somehow, I don't know, teach me a lesson on being the center of attention.
I think the lesson went the wrong direction.
I failed 11th grade drama. Yeah.
Really?
I think I was on my 6th, 7th motion picture, and like I failed drama because I never went.
Yeah, I was going to say the participation part of this. Good question. Thanks, Peter. Hello, what's your name?
My name's Josh.
Good to meet
Hey, recently you had a cameo in Twisted Metal. I had to rewind to do double takes. Realized that was you.
Yeah.
What was the conversation like getting that role and what went into that?
Yeah, I didn't know much about Harold. One of the producers of the show called me. He said we worked on this show called Nikita a billion years ago, and he called me and said, "Would you do this cameo on Twisted Metal?" And I love Samoa Joe. I love the show. I used to play the game. Legitimately play the game in the 90s. It was a fucking awesome game. That, Star Fox. Those are my games back then. And he called me and goes, "You want to come in and do this part?" And by the way, it's the part of a brown paper bag. And I went up there and I shot it, and it was a riot. The cast is phenomenal. There's a huge budget. Just like massive. And yeah, hopefully they somehow find a way for Harold to make a return. Maybe a spin-off show. The Harold show.
Just Harold, for sure.
No, I'd love it if they called me back for that show. That show was a riot.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, good morning. What is your name?
Gloria.
Hi, Gloria.
I was just curious how, like, the directors in Final Destination 1 took the vanilla pudding and tuna can swap out.
I think there was the props master was asked me, suggested I recommended that maybe I'm not going to want to eat tuna or chicken, whatever, all day long, but would you want vanilla pudding instead? And obviously, that's much better than eating canned whatever they were going to put in there. And I'm glad they did.
Very good, thank you. Other questions? Yes, no, maybe so? Is it coming? Yes, they are. All right, come on up, guys. This is your time. What is your name?
My name is Blake.
Hey, Blake, good to see you again.
My question actually goes back to Chucky as well. I am in love with the series. It's incredibly well written, and it's very well done in the sense that you don't have to have seen any of the movies to know what's going on. They drop a quick 5-second flashback and you're caught up, no problem. My question actually pertains to Chucky himself. I was wondering if you actually got to meet and work with Brad during that, because I know you mentioned seeing the doll and how starstruck you were, but Brad, obviously with Chucky, is incredible, but outside of that has been in so many different things for so long, and he does phenomenal work on that show. And obviously him voicing his daughter playing.
It's complicated for those who are looking like, what?
Yeah. So I was wondering if you got to work with Brad at all, and like personally.
Yeah, so the first 2 years he couldn't come up, he did all the voice because of COVID. Chucky, especially the first season, was really bizarre to shoot because of all we had to quarantine in a hotel before the Canadian border and all that. So Brad couldn't come up, so he did all his voice stuff down there. But he was able to come up on the third season and do an episode. Fiona's awesome. I think the world of her as an artist and as a human. I had a lot of conversations. Brad likes to talk about old films and he's very knowledgeable in the film world. And we talked a little bit about Cuckoo's Nest and what that was like for him. Obviously, that movie is a master class at acting. All those actors in there. He's a great guy. He's a great guy, and I'm glad that he's still doing the Chucky voice. Mark Hamill tried it for a movie, and I don't think it was
great. But
no, I love Mark Hamill. I think he's phenomenal, but I think Brad is that's that guy, and it was great to have him.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Hello, come on up. What is your name?
John.
Casey Jones, of course.
Hey John, what's your question?
Yeah, it's another Chucky question. What was it like? Who was your favorite character to play on the show, and what was it like anticipating having you die each season?
One of the best parts was actually waiting to see how, because Don wanted to make each death bigger and better than the next.
Yeah.
So one of the best parts was waiting to see what Don was going to come up with. And actually, the season we were about to do before things were shut down was he had a really good. I don't want to say it because he uses it in something going forward, but
Season 5 was written?
No, season 4. Nothing was written, but season 4 was. And he may do something next year as far as.
Oh, it's more over the top.
What's that?
Oh yeah, season 4. Yeah.
Season 4 was going to be done, but then it's just on hold right now. Chucky's on hold. I don't know if the TV show's on hold. Chucky's on hold. They'll do something next year. What was part 1 of that question?
Oh yeah, favorite character.
Oh, the President's Double.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're gonna die again.
Yeah, the elevator death was a lot of fun. It felt like The Shining. It felt a little like the whole blood elevator, and it was a little bit of a Shining throwback. So.
But yeah, I hope a new Chucky project happens and you're able to be in it.
I know for sure a Chucky project will happen. Like I can almost guarantee next year you'll get something Chucky. Don't know what I'm going to be in. I hope I am. I'm still really close with Don, but Don will do what Don wants to do next year.
Yeah, I'm excited for it definitely.
Yeah.
Good question. Thank you, John. Any other questions? Because if not, I'll keep talking. Hey, bud, come on up. Yeah, come on up here.
This is going to be a good one.
I know. You can pull that down if you need to. Yeah.
What's your favorite
What's my favorite theme park roller coaster? The Viper at Magic Mountain. And I'm going there on Monday. I truly am going there on Monday. My kids have a day off from school on Monday, but it's just their school. It's like, so none of the other schools will have the day off, and we're gonna go and we're gonna ride the Viper and Colossus and the Superman and the Batman, or the Riddler, I think is one of them. We're gonna do them all. They don't want to.
What's your favorite?
What's your favorite?
Which one was it?
The Millennium Force. Is that the Star Wars? Is that the Disneyland one?
Yeah, Cedar Point.
Cedar Point. Is that here? Oh, is that? I've never had. I gotta hit that one.
All right, so yeah, we're all going to take a break. We're all going to go to Ohio. Hope you guys have your apps on your phone.
What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite food you get at a theme park? Hot dogs. Good call. Good call. I like that. I like a good hot dog. Good theme park hot dog is good. You never know what you're getting in that.
Good job. Good question.
Good question, Tom. I like your shirt too.
Right on. Other questions? Anybody else?
Come on, someone's got to have a
It's like going once. Go, yeah, come on, my God.
Sorry, I got another one for you. Were you ever asked to come back for Final Destination 2, or?
I don't know what the internal conversations were about coming back. I know there was an original plan. I died in the first one in the original movie, and they shot an ending so that I could come back for Final Destination 2, but it just didn't work out that.
Now in the next Final Destination movie, if there's a big twist that you like faked your death or something like that, would you be down for return to the franchise?
I'm a big fan of the franchise, so let me know. I love that the franchise became all about hiring these new kids, and I reference it like it's kind of like watching, you know, an American Idol where these artists take songs that you know and then they put their own spin on the songs and they're usually better. That's how kind of like every Final Destination movie is. They've got the basic what they're supposed to do. It kind of follows that someone has a premonition, they dodge that premonition. But how is this new cast of talented young actors going to make it theirs? And that's kind of been a fun thing to watch along the way. I've seen them all in theaters. I see the last one in theater. I'll see the next one in theaters. It's been a cool thing. So.
Thank you. Question. All right. If there are no more questions, please come on up. Yeah, we have a few minutes, but if we don't have questions, I'm going to give it back to his table.
My name is Tommy, and the question I have for you is, what is the last song that you have played if you have Apple Music or Spotify? What is the last thing you
question too?
Holy cow! I love that. The last song. So if you pull up like Apple Music or Spotify, what's the last song that you had played?
I'm so scared.
Yeah.
How do I find that?
I don't know. Because you're an actor, you can just hang up. Just say like,
oh my God!
No. Really? Seriously?
The last thing I searched.
Taylor Swift.
You want to read that one out?
We have a Swiftie on stage.
But it's so weird because it's Taylor Swift, then Jid, then Eminem, then chill piano hits.
As one does. You gotta detox from the Taylor. You gotta get some chill piano hits. The fact that you searched chill piano hits is great to me.
So you gotta wake up.
You know what it takes. Come on in. What's your name? Okay. What's your question?
Well, I just want to say chill piano hits is really underrated. So
Underrated album, isn't it?
It should. And that was my question, was about what kind of music you liked, and that was a pretty big list.
All over the place. All over the place. I have a daughter, okay? We gotta. You heard the new Swift song?
It's okay to like Taylor
speaking as another 40-something dad, but yeah, your playlist is jacked. Just, you can't go anywhere without listening to your stuff and their stuff.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Is there anyone that you haven't worked with that you would love to work with?
I'm sorry, what?
Is there anyone that you like haven't worked with that you would want to work with?
Oh, so many. I would love, I mean, I think the ship has sailed, but Jack Nicholson is somebody that I would love to just watch on set and see how he works, what his methods of working, you know. Like sometimes that's the best part about working with some of these actors, like I worked with Travolta and Stallone recently. Both those guys, they're both so different on their set behaviors and what they like to do before scenes. And Stallone comes on with a cigar and he's very good, and Travolta's more theatrical, and he'll bust into. I swear to God, he'll bust into a Grease song. Like no shame. Like he'll do Grease Lightning right there for you. It's amazing.
And you didn't even ask for it.
I've done 2 movies with him, and the greatest thing about him is he likes to talk about his old movies, like this one time he and Sean Penn went to visit Marlon Brando. It's like, what? Or like I went for a jog with Muhammad Ali this one time. It's like, and he loves to get into these stories about him. It's pretty phenomenal. It's awesome.
Thanks, Sarah. Good job.
But yeah, Jack Nicholson is the answer to that. Hopefully, maybe somehow, somewhere. There you go.
I know you just said you was a fan of the Final Destination franchise. I'm assuming you've seen the last one. I'd just like to get your thoughts on knowing what we know now about Tony Todd and how he passed away. If you had any thoughts on his final words in that movie? It was hard.
It was hard, wasn't it?
I'm glad they let him jam and do him in that scene. Tony Todd, and I didn't know Tony Todd very well because he did one day with me on the first Final Destination movie, and so we kind of, I didn't get to know him, but I got to know him at these things over the years, and we took a couple, we were on the plane together a few times, which is fucking strange. He was a phenomenal guy, and I loved him dearly, and I'm glad they let him do his thing.
Thank you.
Come on up. What is your name?
Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Okay. So the other day I saw that somebody was watching Final Destination while on a plane.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, if you were on a plane and you saw someone watching Final Destination, would you let them know you were on a plane? Like a little different.
Would you cause a scene to get thrown out of the plane and then make everybody wonder, like, what is this?
I think the chances of me dying on a plane are I think slim.
You cheated it already, right?
That's weird. I don't think of a Final Destination on the plane too much.
I would just love to see, just like, I gotta get on here. Everybody
at this day and age, I don't think it's,
everybody gets up and
I don't know if that joke would fly too much.
Good job, 2 questions. Thank you. Come on in. Hello, welcome back.
Was it scary? It was long. It was a tough shoot. Is it scary? No, it wasn't too scary, but it was very draining and emotional. There was a lot of screaming and crying and running and sweating and yelling and it was exhausting. It was more exhausting than scary, but it was scary when we saw it. That's for sure. When all the pieces were put together, because you shoot a movie in pieces, and when it was all put together, it was scary and worth it.
Good question. Good job. Good questions all around. I'm going to leave us with one more question that I want to ask before we get out of here. The question is this. Again, you got the Return of the Dead thing coming up. What is it that continues to inspire you today to keep going, to draw that energy from the universe or whatever? What inspires you today?
I I took a break from acting from like 2005 to 2009, 10, somewhere in there. And I realized how much I loved my job on that time. What inspires me to keep going back is just the love I have for it. I just like being on set. The bullshit that comes with it, like when you're not on set, whether it's some of the press, dealing with the agents and the managers and all this stuff like that. But I love being around other artists. I love creating. I love telling stories. I love telling other people's stories, like Don Mancini's or these people. I just love what I do. I'm one of those jobs that you don't have to retire if you don't want to. Like I could see myself being when I'm 80, hopefully, playing Santa Claus in Hallmark movies. I like to be on set, So.
Have you guys had a good time this last hour? Like I said, we're going to be getting back downstairs to his table, so you guys, if you have questions you didn't get to ask, or maybe the microphone thing just threw you off and you didn't want to do that, that's cool. We would love to see you guys at the table, photos, autographs, all of that down there. But before you take off, we have a request of all of you. We'd like to get a photo with you for the convention. They'll post it on social media. You guys can find yourself. If you took off work today, you can count this as your doctor's note. I'll sign something for you. So yeah, come on here, Philip.
Thank you all so much for the questions, for coming. Thank you very much.
Good. How are you?
What are we gonna say on 3? Everybody say something different. Don't say what the person next to you says. Right? And don't coordinate. Right, here we go. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
Bang! Hands time!
Back over here.
We'll start our next Q&A at the top of the hour.